Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be checking out this 14,000 BTU portable air conditioner from Garvee. So let's go ahead and open it up and see what's inside. Alright, I am just lifting off the top of the box, and it comes with a drain hose, a hot air vent, a window pass-through slider, and some insulation to insulate this slider. It also comes with a user's manual, a remote with batteries, and some screws to probably screw in your window slider. And then we have the portable air conditioner itself. All right, if you want to get a closer look at this air conditioner, here is the front. I'm guessing this is for the where the remote signal is. Right here is our display, and this right here is a retractable cover for the out vent, where all the cold air comes out of. On the side, we do have the portable air conditioner, all of the specifications. All right, here's the back of the unit. It has two air intake grills, one here and one here. They both have removable filters so you can vacuum them out. And then here is the hot air outtake right here. That's what this vent right here will be connecting to. You just slide it on, and then this part connects to your window. You also have two drain ports. This top one right here is if you're only using this as a dehumidifier. That way you can actually connect a hose to it to put into a pan. And then down here is the condensation outlet for all the condensation that you have. And you don't have to put a hose on here. You can just leave it closed because the unit will let you know if it gets full. And it will just basically shut itself off until you manually drain it. All right, so enough about the physicality of this Garvee air conditioner. Let's go ahead and try to figure out some numbers on whether this is actually a viable option for an off-grid situation and what really would be the minimums you should use to power something like this for maybe overnight. So let's find out. The way I'm going to find out is by this watt meter right here. I'll go ahead and have this linked in my description just in case you want to look further into it. But these are fabulous tools for when it comes to knowing how much power a certain 120 volt appliance uses at any given time and over a certain amount of time. Because it can do wattage, it can show voltage, it can show kilowatt hours, all sorts of stuff. So it is very useful. We're going to go ahead and just plug it into this unit and just plug it right into my wall. And what it will show is it's going to give us what the max wattage pull is from this unit, and it will give us a kilowatt hour setting. And I've got the settings all zeroed out, so let's go ahead and plug it in. Okay, the unit starts up. It does its initial startup where it raises this and lowers it. All right, so let's go ahead and power on the unit. And you can see on the front that it does show 64 degrees Fahrenheit, cooling, and the fan is on high. And at the top, it does show cooling, 64 degrees and high as well. And right now, it is pulling 887 watts. The lowest it's done so far is 1.5 watts, and the highest it's done is 963. Oh my God, it's going up and up and up. I think that is what it's currently doing right now. So yeah, it's now pulling 980, almost 990 watts, 990. It's still going up. 1,000 watts right there. One thing I did notice about this unit is it really didn't push a big surge. It pushed the initial 800 watts, then 900, and then once the condenser turned on, or the compressor, sorry, I'm not an AC guy, but once that kicked on, it just bumped up to like 1,040 now. So, and it's holding still, and it is blowing very cool air out of this unit. So I really think that working with this unit, we can use a 2000 watt inverter and be very safe in that range. Let's see what happens when we see if we can get this down any cooler. That's as low as it goes. It's 64 degrees Fahrenheit, which is cold. Let's go ahead and raise it up to like 75 and see how much energy it uses with that. All right, the unit just went to a fan mode, and now we're using 53 watts. So once it reaches temperature, it really reduces down. I mean, only 53 watts. And you have to remember that an AC unit, it only runs on high, you know, that 1000 watts until it reaches temp. And then it will shut itself off and turn itself back on to regulate that temperature. So you're not always going to be pushing 1000 watts. Sometimes you'll be pushing around 55 watts. Okay, so let's do some simple calculations on how many kilowatt hours of battery storage you would need to power this, let's just say for overnight during a power outage, like 7 hours, something like that. Now, let's say that this thing only runs 50% of the time on its full size settings, which pulls about 1100 watts. So let's go ahead and say half of that, so 550 watts times 7 hours. And that does equal 3,850 watt hours that this thing is going to use while it's running on its peak. Now, right now, it's only doing 52 watts. So let's go ahead and say 52 times 3.5. Oh, well, let's just use the same situation. So instead of 52, we'll just say 26 times 7, and that's another 182 watt hours. So we're going to say 3,850 plus 182. That equals 4,032 watt hours. Now, you also have to think of the efficiencies of the off-grid inverter you're going to use. So let's just say that your off-grid inverter is 90% efficient. So you got to tack on like another 10% on that. So instead of 4,032, we're talking about 4,435 watt hours of electricity, of potential energy you would need to power this unit for 7 hours. And I'm just guessing on whether it's going to run for 50% of the time and shut off for 50% of the time. That's a test for another video. But the conclusion is, if you have a full 48 volt, 100 amp hour golf cart battery connected to a 48 volt, 2000 watt inverter, I believe we could run this at a comfortable setting. I know I have it at 68 right now, but at a comfortable setting for 7 hours straight with no issues whatsoever. But if you only have a 12 volt, 100 amp hour battery, you are probably looking at about 2 hours max. So if you have any questions about this Garvee 13,000 BTU portable air conditioner, or any of the calculations that I made to figure out how long this thing can run for, please go ahead and leave them in the comments. I'll have a link to this item in my description along with the meter, just in case you want to look further into them. Thanks again, and have a great day. Bye-bye.